Hello guys, it's Solo here. Welcome back with another video. So today we have some interesting clips. I hope you enjoy. Thank you for watching and see you on the next one.
Anyways, during this time where I felt distanced from everyone else, me and Fed would have many issues. One of the more prominent ones revolved around an incident where we threw a house party. Some of you guys know we just throw house parties sometimes. And he knew that there was someone coming to the house party that I was really looking forward to seeing and getting to know. And when that guy came to the house party, or arrived at the party, Fed kind of stuck to him like glue all night. But from my perspective, I was like, oh, like, that's nice, you know, my close friend and this guy that I want to get to know, like, they're getting along so well. That's really nice to see. Even though I was a bit sad that I couldn't actually talk to the guy, but whatever. Later that night, after the party ended, I texted this guy. And I was like, oh, kind of sucks, like, we didn't get to hang out. And he was like, yeah, you seemed really busy. And I was like, me busy? Like, you and Fed were, you know, two peas in a pod all night. And he goes, oh, yeah, like, what's going on with you guys? And I was like, what do you mean, what's going on? And the guy informed me that Fed told him that we were together when we weren't, and that he told the guy not to tell anyone, not to talk to anyone about it, not to talk to me about it. And that was the first time that Fed just like massively broke my trust, and I could never trust him or look at him the same way. And I'm very grateful that the guy in question told me this, even though Fed told him not to. And then I retroactively asked someone else from kind of the past whether Fed had said something similar to him, and they did. And I very recently, just today, found out that he said the same thing to another guy. And the guy I found out about today was someone else that like I was seeing or wanting to get to know. I'm a very, to a fault, I'm a very confrontational person, so I confronted Fed about this, and he admitted he did it, he admitted it was wrong, and that he fucked up. And I said, okay, you know, and we tried to move on. Toast also sat down with Fed a year ago. At this point, Toast was the only one from OTV who was aware of the incident with Yvonne and Fed, and he warned Fed about the growing concern within our friend group in regards to his behavior around girls. And this was before we all shared our stories. In regards to his behavior around girls, especially when drinking, and this was before all the recent stuff. It was just like a concern that was starting to build at the time. Fed responded by getting angry at Toast and claimed to not have remembered the incident with Yvonne, and he seemed more concerned with who else knew about the incident and about anything else, and who had said what about him. I am sharing this on behalf of Toast and with his permission. I want to put a huge emphasis on this. The way he shit-talked Yvonne and Lily to me and others, particularly, I will just recount my experience, is so frustrating knowing what happened between them. The Yvonne incident happened, and Fed would start talking to me. I'm so sorry for being emotional. He would talk to me about how Yvonne was lazy and not working enough and playing League all the time. And I was concerned, and he would say, oh, she like won't work on OTV stuff with me or brainstorm and blah, blah, blah. And this discussion got to the point of us almost letting Yvonne go from the company because we thought she just like wasn't interested enough in working with us. When in reality, her behavior was entirely because of the incident that happened between them two.
Okay, but I don't want him.
I'm all yours.
No, I don't
Yeah.
want him.
No, he doesn't eat burritos.
give me at least
He eats hot dogs.
What? Why are you exaggerating? It's just a fucking hug, dude. You don't want to hug me?
No, that's not. Sorry, reaction.
I'm your fucking roommate, dog. What the fuck?
Okay, it's not just...
I'm like your little bro, alright? Give me a fucking hug.
Yeah,
Stop
little
being
bro
fucking annoying, dude. Give me a fucking hug.
Stop, no.
Give me a hug. I want a hug.
Frozen hot dogs.
Alright, I need it, alright?
You don't.
Yeah, I do. I'm sad.
So I also explained to the girls that I felt the only proper and unproblematic way for me to deal with my emotions was to move out of the house myself. And I also want to quickly elaborate. There were a lot of reasons why I wanted to move out. Yes, Fed was a big pushing force. I do still mean all the other things about moving out. At the Just Friends house, he would come over anytime things were off or tense at the offline TV house and just like be in their rooms. Never knocking, just there, which they came to accept as just Fed things. While he was there, he would always imply things were bad between me and him and lie or push false narratives that make him look good and make me look really bad. Or when he was over, he would be in one of their beds almost all the time. Later, when the Yvonne incident happened, and when they did not know that this happened, he would come over to their house and tell them things like, Yvonne is taking up a content creator spot in our house. She does literally nothing but play League. And talk about how much he wanted her out of the house. He drove everyone around me away from me. And I started freaking crying at the intervention and after, just out of like mourning the years of friendship that I lost with these people because of him.
The same motherfuckers that are trying to figure out, like, you know, what the coordinates are for Pokimane's new house or apartment or wherever the fuck she lives are the same people who are like, this should have been handled privately. Why? So you could have more breadcrumbs to fucking follow, you sickos? It's not up to you how this shit gets handled. Okay? It's up to them. Part of the reason why they're doing this publicly, outside of all of those psychopaths who are way too invested in the daily back and forth relationship that online content creators have, the other reason is because, as Iman mentions here, there were numerous other people that he was doing this to. This is a pattern of behavior that is abusive. Okay.
Because Big John Fed is gone. What's face? Who the fuck is Fred?
Lily got bullied into releasing a bullshit statement. Yikes.
100%.
Not reading it on stream.
From what I read, they decided to go public with it because they had brought it up to Fed and they didn't feel like he was changing his behavior when with his power and influence, that he could still continue just doing the same thing to other girls. And I mean, at the end of the day, I support them for coming out with that stuff. I don't want to talk about this too much because it's not my story. Fed didn't do anything to me. I'm not the person who was the victim in this situation. It was the girls. And if you guys want to hear more about it, you should read what they had to say. I don't want to butcher or dilute their message. You know, hopefully this experience helps Fed change and grow as a person in the long run. Nobody likes hearing this kind of difficult news, but I think it's really important when you see victims actually talking about it or...
Wait.
Thank you guys.
I just realized, like, you know how everyone's always memeing about people in Poki's chat, like, oh, I'm a tier 3 sub, like, she's in love with me, buddy, back off, you know, like, oh, I'm her top donator, okay, she's mine. But, like, all along it was the guy in the next room over, like, holy shit. That was the worst one of them all.
I will see you when I see you.
He was literally saying it to people IRL.
Processing everything.
That's crazy.
How do I end a stream on the Twitch app?
You don't. Damn, dude. Maybe he stole her underwear and it wasn't Greek? Alright, too far. Too far.
Yeah. Do you think we can recuperate the $100,000 investment?
I think you could with the content that you put out of it and intangible brand awareness. Like, who's offline TV? I don't. Oh, they're the one with the dog that pisses in your cup at parties.
Pissing dog.
The pissing dog that pisses in your cup at parties. It's those guys. Oh, those guys? Of course I know those guys. They're the ones who taught the Boston Dynamics dog to feel pain when you yell at it.
Dude, I know this sounds crazy, but I'm kind of down.
Yeah, I'm kind of like thinking through it. I'll go halvesies on a Boston Dynamic dog.
Yeah.
The more I think through it, it's like...
Look. That Facebook money's gotta go somewhere.
May as well be tax deductible.
Look, instead of losing all my money on the stock market,
why don't we put it into something useful?
like a pissing dog.